In my conversations with members of Congress, they have said every state is a border state. And this is obviously a national conversation. What do you think is missing from that national dialogue?
I think it is important that members. I have sometimes felt like my colleagues might be sort of insulated and not seeing the impacts up close and personal. I have been in Congress for about a year and a half now, and one of the frustrating things I've seen is like when they can't actually pass legislation, or it's politically challenging to do that, they'll just get funding for a study, and they'll just study something to death and just get all this data. And those numbers represent real suffering, and we don't have time to wait. I mean, it's a persistent problem right now.
And do you think there will be a solution right now? Or do you think, like I said earlier, this is a political football, like you said, that will just move down the line until there's potentially a new president or just the presidential election?
Well, I'm hopeful that we'll see people continuing, my colleagues will continue to show up and keep trying and keep pushing. I mean, it is very interesting to me to see other Democrats join me and sit down at the table and say, hey, we're here, and to call for a real action now. So many people are pivoting away from this because it's challenging. I think it is very interesting that you are now seeing other Democrats from communities like mine showing persistence, even when we're in the minority, to get legislation passed.
In reporting that described this statement, you were described as a centrist Democrat. This group was described as a centrist Democrats. Do you think we could see more progressive Democrats joining this fight, joining your fight?
Well, I hope so. I mean, our job is to try. And, I think that at times the sort of binary of left-right is sort of broken. I think that actually these issues are much more three-dimensional up close and in person. And so that is part of my work, is to make this real and tangible to my colleagues who might not have the same experience that I've seen. I own an auto repair and a machine shop with my husband. And so just seeing the poverty and the desperation that fentanyl brings to communities, we can't wait. And I don't think this needs to be a left versus right issue. I think what we need is incremental action to regain operational control. I mean, countries have a right and an obligation to have a secure border. That is not a novel concept.
Congresswoman, I really appreciate the time today. I appreciate the conversation. You're welcome back anytime.
Thank you so much, Brittany. I really appreciate your time here.